Hello, welcome to the Houston Shortwave Listening Channel. I'm going to do a video about these three radios. One on the left here is the Grundig G5, the center is the Grundig G3, and on the right here is the Eton Elite Executive. I did a podcast with some history about Grundig and then these three radios, so definitely check that out. It's audio only, but it goes in to more information than I'm going to be able to do here. Here I'm just going to go through some of the features of the three radios and some of the differences. So, but initial look, especially the G5 versus the G3, and they look pretty much identical. They have a lot of the same features, but there are some differences with the G3 that the G5 didn't have. And now recently, a number of people were looking at the Eton Elite Executive because these are going pretty cheaply on eBay. You can get them for $40 or $50, and again, the layout, the case design is very similar to the G5 and the G3, and I think that's by design. But I've been having my G5 for a number of years. I guess I hadn't used it for a while. Found it, and I've been really impressed with it. The sensitivity is really good with an external antenna. I'm using a 125-foot external long wire, and it does really well. I got this G3 off eBay. It does have some issues like any used radio you'll probably get, so just bear that in mind. And I got the Eton off of eBay. I think I paid around $60 for mine. But just go through, I have them all tuned to 13780. So here's the Grundig G5. And if you hit the light button, you can turn on the external light. I think it'll stay on like for 15 seconds. It's kind of hard to see. You can't really see that. I have to tilt it up like that. Here's the Grundig G3. So you can hear it has more static than the G5. I think that's because there's some issue internally with the radio. You can hear that as well using an external antenna. But you can still hear, and then there's also an issue with this one with the volume. I have to turn the volume up louder as opposed to on the G5. That's still coming in. And then Eton Elite Executive, quirk with this one seems like you have to press the power button twice. 13780. Yeah, if you hear that, that's the interval signal or the signal for Radio Havana, Cuba. Looks like 13780 is a new frequency that they've been using for their broadcasts that have been Radio Havana, Cuba. So if you've listened to shortwave for a while, you would have heard that their past broadcast, the audio quality was not really good at all. So I think they're switching to this new frequency, and I think they've updated some of their transmitter equipment. So that's coming in pretty good on the Eton Elite Executive. Some atmospheric noise and fading. Go back to the G3. Again, you have that static. The antenna on this is a little loose. I don't know if maybe tightening that up might help. And go back to the Grundig G5. Just going through some of the features on here. I'll turn down the volume. I guess the G5. It has the power button and a sleep button. And then it has this F1 through F7. So if you press it, it'll just cycle through the I guess 7 main shortwave bands, and I can't remember. These are related to the last frequencies that you had used in that band, and I think it is, because if we go back to this one, I hit the knob, it's 13780, which Radio Havana, Cuba. So there's the reset button that's similar on all of these 3 radios. You have the 1, 2, 3 through 9 buttons for you can manually enter a frequency. That's WWV. I don't know how well that's coming in just on the whip. All these are on the whip. So you can manually enter a frequency. You can use the up arrow. I guess it went to the next band, or the down arrow. It's a religious broadcaster. You can hold the up or down buttons, and it'll scan and search until it finds a signal, then it'll stop on it. Same, you can go up, hold it for 2 seconds, and it'll scan. And then the 4th way is just to use the manual tuning knob, and this only tunes in 1 kilohertz steps. It's not selectable, whereas the up-down arrows tune in 5 kilohertz steps. We bring this a little closer so you can see. So that's the up-down. There's a volume up and down. Here on the front there's a single sideband. So it just selects single sideband, as you can see here, and then there's a thumb wheel on the side where you can fine-tune it. So there's no double pressing where it'll show USB or LSB. It's just single sideband, or it goes back to AM. This is a button you can select for the light and do some editing. I believe that's with the memories that I never use. I guess you can select stereo or mono for if you go to FM. The FM button. This is a local FM station, 90.9 KTSU. You can see it's stereo selected. And I guess the signal strength meter doesn't work on FM, but it shows you the amount of battery charge with the time. I have this program for UTC. It also has these weekday fields that you can enter. That's the FM and the frequency. So FM, or go to AM band. I guess the signal strength meter does work. It's now showing the bandwidth filter, which is on the side, wide or narrow. So it's in narrow, and you can see when I flip it up to wide, I guess it became a little bit wider. Go back to the AM button. That'll take us to shortwave, and if we select that, it'll step through the major shortwave broadcast bands. We're back to Radio Havana, Cuba, 13780. I guess these are for the memory store, erase, check. You can set the time zone on here. Page, this is used to set the time, and I guess some of the other features you can select 4 different alarms and the sleep timer. The sleep button is used for that. So like I said, there's the fine wheel for a single sideband, wide, narrow, the bandwidth filters, the tuning knob, and there's a line output jack. You can run this out. It's a fixed signal. And on this other side, there's the power input headphone jack. There's a local or DX switch with selects the sensitivity. So DX will make it more sensitive. There's a loud signal. Put it to local. And this is the external antenna jack here. So this G5, like the G3, has this rubberized coating, which I really like, actually. It can get dirty and stuff can stick to it, but if you can clean it up, and I just kind of like the feel of it. So that's basically the G5, and if we compare this to the G3, you'll see it's really eerily similar. So again, the power button, power sleep, same thing that was on the G5. There's a lock button, so if it's the radio is not powered on, if you hit lock, it won't automatically come on, and if the radio is on and you hit lock, it'll disable the tuning wheel. So if you knock it, it won't change frequency. There's a reset button similar to the G5. Page time, that's the same as the G5. So that'll allow you to set the time and do something with the memory. As well, same thing as the G5, the auto up down buttons with the auto tuning, plus minus, up and down volume. See, this has a USB LSB selection, so that's different. So again, we're on Radio Havana, Cuba. But if I hit USB, now you'll see lower sideband comes on. If I hit it again, upper sideband, and again it has the fine tuning wheel on the side used to fine tune the single sideband. It has a wide narrow filter, so narrow is selected, as you can see here. If I go to wide, it'll change the width of that image there. It's the signal strength meter. Here the frequency display is on the bottom, whereas on the G5 it was on the top. It still has the weekday selection, show AM. So this AM. One thing I like about these radios, for a small speaker, I think it sounds really good. So that's, and I can hit FM, it'll take me to FM. Again, I forgot on this one, you can select stereo or not, but I'm not remembering how to do it. It also has a battery indicator here if you're on batteries. I guess if you're using the adapter, it'll show a little plug icon instead of like the battery and how much it's charged. But I guess it's showing stereo here, and I think it may automatically be on stereo for FM. But here you can also select aircraft band, so the G5 does not have the aircraft band. But like I said, I bought this radio used off eBay, and the automatic scanning function doesn't work. So the only way you can change the frequency is use the tuning knob in 1 kilohertz steps, which isn't convenient at all. So that's a problem. And also there's a same thing, it has the same things on this side as the G5, the power adapter input, headphone, local DX switch, and then the external antenna connection there. And I guess when I plug in the external antenna on this, I get some spurious signals in the background. So there's definitely some kind of issue with this. I bought, again, off of eBay. I didn't pay a whole lot for it, so I guess if I do have problems with the G5 over here, I guess I can use this for parts. I have another older G5. The speaker is going out, so I can use it, but it still works. If I don't plug the external antenna in all the way, it actually works pretty well. So and it's pretty comparable with the external antenna to the G5, actually, based on my experience. Again, the F1 through F7 just selects through the different 7 main shortwave meter bands. 13780 Radio Havana, Cuba. Again, this does have the sync detector used with this button once you're in single sideband mode. Again, the 2 different features, but as you can see, and if you recall, the scan rate is a lot slower on this than it is on the G5. You can see how kind of slow it's scanning through the frequencies. So again, a lot of similar features between the G5 and the G3, and I'll just show you again the scan rate on here. See, quite a bit faster the way it scans through. So I guess in a Radio J. Allen website, he said I guess he preferred the slower rate because it didn't seem to miss detecting frequencies, but I really haven't noticed that. And the third one here is the Eton Elite Executive. So you can see very similar, the layout. F1 through F7 at the top. It has the 4 buttons on the side, 1 through 9, FM, 0, AM. The only difference, this had the volume up, down, plus or minus. I guess they've replaced that with the wide, narrow filter button, and they put the volume as a thumb wheel on the side here. Again, US upper sideband, lower sideband, same as here on the G3. Sync detection RDS, that's the same. The scanning up-down buttons, page buttons, that's all the same. The wheel tunes in 1 kilohertz steps. There's a sleep power, and the locks, really similar. Really very similar faces on these radios. So let me turn this on. Radio Havana, Cuba coming in pretty good on the Eton Elite Executive. Again, you can hold the up button. So it seems like it's scans quicker than on the G3, but not as fast as on the G5. Again, though, F1 through F7 select these 7 major shortwave bands. Has the the orange display as opposed to the green, the signal strength meter, the filter. So here, this has 5 filters instead of just the 2 wide narrow that's on the G3 and the G5. So here we're on the lowest, the smallest one, the 2 kilohertz. So you can press and go up 2.5, 3, 4, and then 5. And let's see, again, you can press the AM meter band button. It'll cycle through the shortwave bands. Let's see if it'll stop back on 13780. Go back here. So this, the medium wave button will select AM, or if you press it again, it'll select long wave. And honestly, I haven't really used long wave much. I don't know if there's much to hear in the US on long wave, but in same, the FM button, this button, press it once, it'll go to FM. You can see it has the RDS display. If the station is transmitting that information, you press this again, it'll go to the air band, and you can see when I press up, it'll scan, unlike how the G3 was broken, but it'll scan. I don't live that close to an airport, so I haven't really picked up much on the air band. I did pick up some hospital down in the medical center, a little distance from me. So we'll just go back to AM and this. Oh, I think the battery might have gone out on here, or it's getting ready to go out. Yeah, I think the battery's getting ready to go out. But again, basically same features as the G3. I guess here, if you press this button, you can select either line in or line out. This is the same as on the G3. Again, this is the volume, and the tuning knob on here only goes in 1 kilohertz steps. Same features on the side here, the power input, headphone, DX local switch, and external antenna switch. So let me just show you on the G3, since the batteries are still good. This doesn't have the problem with the power switch where you have to select it twice like on the Eton Elite Executive. But so say if let me just turn it off, I can select line in will show up. It does the same thing on the Eton. You'll see this pop up. So if you plug in a cable through here, now you can run, I don't know, like an iPod, iPad, any kind of audio source into here and play it through the speaker. So actually that's what I did with the Eton. I guess my older G5, the speaker, once I turned the volume up too loud, it started getting garbled. So I ran from the I guess the headphone jack, or you can use the line out, either one, to the line in on the Eton and just play the audio through there. So that's kind of a nice convenient feature. So again, here's the original radio. the Grundig G5, AM/FM stereo, dual conversion, AM/FM. Yeah, so this does not have the air band, does not have sync detection. It only has the one single sideband switch. The G3 came out about 3 years or so later. So now this is AM/FM air band, has synchronous detection, the upper lower sideband selection, but still the same fine-tuned thumb wheel as the G5. And then I guess the latest version of the Eton Elite Executive, very similar to the G3, has air band as well. I guess one difference on here actually is with the you can select upper or lower sideband, but you notice there's no fine-tuned wheel. So it'll automatically, I know the technical term, but lock on to the signal so you don't have to fine-tune it with the wheel like you do on the G3 and G5. So that's pretty nice. It's just easier to use in single sideband mode. So I guess that's one of the upgrade, I guess, that they've done over the years for radios and detecting single sideband. So those are these 3 Grundig / Eton portable radios that I'm sure some of you have, maybe one or maybe one or more. But again, like I said, I really like these radios. I think they do a good job for the price. I know Texans are popular as well and really good radios, but this is just some further info on some of the Grundig portable radios that are still available, either selling new like the Eton Elite Executive or on eBay or maybe some other sources like the G3 or the Grundig G5. All right. Thanks for listening. Found this helpful. Like the video and subscribe to the channel. Aloha.